are lucky enough to be joined by the team behind Finding Circadia. Jesse Tendler, Evan Weinstein, thank you so much for being here. You're both from out of town. It's awesome that you're joining us. I just saw the trailer. I'm going to see the movie on Tuesday when it screens again. This movie looks like a gem. Now, before we get into the aspects of the film, I want to talk to you about why this film came to be for the two of you. We just talked about it off camera. Share with your audience how this came to be and why.
This really was like, I guess, oh, okay, right, all right. So yeah, this was really a project to get everybody acting again. You know, we're all friends, and I wanted to write something that everybody can be a part of, and yeah, and it was a wonderful experience, and Jesse came on board as a producer. And
yeah, it was sort of kind of coincidental that I ended up doing it, sort of synchronicity of Evan and I had been auditioning together for years as actors.
So, Evan, you're our lead actor in the film. Jesse, you make a cameo appearance, which is great. Talk to us about tackling those two roles. You as a director and the 4, 6, 8 different production roles that you had in addition to your cameo. Talk to us about that.
I think a wonderful part about this process was that everybody was, helping out, wearing different hats. So it wasn't like, when I was in a scene, I had people to kind of guide me and tell me what I was doing okay and not okay, and it was the spirit of a lot of actors around, which was wonderful for the project. It was difficult because you're, directing, and there were times we'd lose a location, and I would have to rewrite the scene that night to fit like the next location in the day, and things like that. It's like there's no one that's gonna, help you here. Like you have to get that done, and we got it done. Like
a very common independent filmmaker obstacle.
Yeah,
things that you tackled.
There's people, that help you out, but in the end of the day, it has to go smooth, and losing locations is one of the fun of independent filmmaking.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you filmed in New York?
Yeah, we filmed the whole thing in New York City. We did like a day or two in Atlantic City in New Jersey, but the majority of it was shot in Brooklyn. And in New York City, locations is the single most difficult thing for indie filmmaking because you don't have much of a budget, and you have to get all these locations and figure out company moves and all that. It's definitely the most challenging.
I can only imagine. Now, I want to go back to something you mentioned. You had the sort of cohesiveness on your crew that you honestly had people in your production telling you this or this about your work.
Yeah.
But how important is that? Because yes men on a set, we don't always achieve our goals. But talk about that.
Well, I mean, I went to acting school with a lot of the actors in the project. Jesse, like you said, I knew through auditioning, but I'm very comfortable in front of the people that are in the film in terms of just acting in front of them, and I trust them, and that's one of the reasons why I wrote parts for them in the film. I could not have done my first movie directing, writing, and acting in it if I didn't have a support group like that. So it was very helpful, and I'm always open to advice, regardless of whether I mean, personally, I'm not one of those people that is just shuts everything off. I mean, I think getting advice from people is important to keep growing, so I'm always asking for opinions and things like that, and it helped.
Absolutely.
A lot,
That openness is key as an actor.
Never going to grow, yeah.
And also as a filmmaker that you learn. Is this your first venture directing? You've acted before, obviously. Was this your first step into that?
First time directing, and I'm planning to do it again. Yeah.
Would you also lead, act, or act in something that you're directing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an actor first.
Yep.
So I think that, I like to write good parts for myself that I wouldn't normally see come my way. So, I do have a couple things on my plate, and I'm excited to kind of get in there and do that, once this whole process, starts to die down, because this is like having like a baby, like it's,
Let's not call it a process, this celebration of this amazing piece of work that you put together. Talk about the current and the future of the film.
Yeah, I can take that. So we've been doing the festival circuit since June of 2014. We've shown at, at least 10, 12 festivals, won awards at a lot of those, which has been really awesome just to be recognized for our work. And this past summer, earlier in the summer, we got a distribution deal. So we're on video on demand on every cable platform across the country, and working on a couple other deals now to try to get it in, various other platforms as well.
Airplane.
I was going to say, I'm not sure I can talk about it, but yeah, we have like an airplane deal that we're putting together right now. So yeah, we're trying to get it out there so more people can really see it and enjoy it.
Congratulations. I want to switch gears really quickly. Talk to us about working on a script with comedy. It's not easy. It's not automatic.
The goal of this was to have like a slice of life realistic film. I don't think we ever set out to say there were times where we would be filming a scene, like remember the scene where I was like smoking in the bathroom? Everybody's like, that's really funny, keep doing that, but we weren't really going for that, so I didn't have it in the film. There was never a scene where I wanted to keep it in purely because if it tells a story, that but there's a lot of drama and a lot of comedy in the movie, and I think that's like life. Life is funny and it's sad and it's everything. So, in terms of this film, we never aimed to hit any comedic notes. Although there's some really fun, when you get into post, and you're kind of working on tightening things up. Sometimes you do need, but when we're there, we weren't really thinking about. We were just making a good scene.
Absolutely. So it was a dramatic piece that you wanted a real slice of life, and that natural comedy happened, which is such, like you said, a real slice of life.
Yeah. As long as it feels right and is natural, then it could be funny. But it's
Especially since, as Evan was saying, the leads on this film all knew each other. They'd gone to school together, they'd worked together before, and so they just had great chemistry on set. And so that comedy just came out naturally with them.
Chemistry and that performance shorthand that allows you as actors to work off each other, to help each other with, I love it. That's so great. Let's wrap up here with a final thought. You're here in Minneapolis. Is this your first time here?
Yeah.
It is.
It's not my first time in Minneapolis. It's definitely my first time at the Twin Cities Film Fest, though, and I'm loving it. Yeah.
So this festival has been incredible. It's been so on point and well organized, and the lengths everybody went to make it special, and just how everything was put together is so impressive.
Thank you so much for being here. Leaving Circadia, you two, thanks so much for being here. Awesome.